September 20th, 2005. I'm Terry Moran, and this is Nightline. As a new hurricane threatens a fragile Gulf Coast, is the government ready?
Sorry.
And the few who have returned to New Orleans are frustrated and unsure.
Telling everybody to come back and now leaving back out, that's really confusing.
We shouldn't be here. It's a damn shame to say because I love this place. But maybe we weren't meant to be here.
If it's coming this way, I'm leaving because I went through too much without Katrina.
And whether or not to repair a controversial waterway, is that just asking for another disaster?
We would simply be setting the table for the next nightmare.
Tonight, state of emergency. Well, here we go again. In this relentless hurricane season, Rita is the storm we now have to reckon with. A Category 2 hurricane predicted to strengthen to a Category 3 or 4 by tomorrow. Rita is taking aim at Texas, Galveston in particular. Now, this storm could still wreak havoc in New Orleans, and we'll have a full report from the beleaguered Crescent City, where residents who came back yesterday were ordered out today in a moment. But first, joining me now from the Island Community Center in Galveston, Texas, ABC's Mike Von Friend. Mike, first, preparations. This is really a dangerous storm, it seems. How is it going there?
Well, Terry, I'll tell you, the preparation here on Galveston is impressive. 900 people have already signed up for a seat on the buses behind me. Now, they're offering free rides to shelters that are well inland in Huntsville, Texas. Like New Orleans, there are many impoverished sections of Galveston. Many people do not own a car, and they need help getting out of the path of Hurricane Rita. Now, those that are coming for a seat on these buses have all been told that they can bring one bag, and they can also bring a pet, so long as it's in a cage. They have canceled all schools here, and also starting tomorrow, there's a mandatory evacuation of all hospitals and nursing homes. Galveston is basically learning from the mistakes of New Orleans. They've already stocked up at police and fire stations with plenty of emergency food and water. Terry?
It sure sounds like they learned the lessons of Katrina, but let me ask you about, if you can, the coordination among the various levels of government. We watched total system failure in New Orleans. Is there any sense that they're going to get it better this time?
It sure looks like it to me. They've got everybody together in a room. They've got all the hotel owners organized. They're getting the word out so far in advance. I mean, the storm is still days away, and they already want to let people who specifically have any needs know exactly where to go. Now, I'm not sure whether in the full height and fury of a storm, whether they're going to be able to communicate with each other. But basically, there's only one thing you can do when a hurricane's coming, and that's get out of Dodge. And right now, they're helping people do that.
And Galveston, Mike, has a pretty tough history with hurricanes, doesn't it?
Well, of course, the greatest loss of life that's ever happened from any hurricane happened here in 1900, 105 years ago. There were more than 8,000 people that died. People here didn't understand what hurricanes were all about at that time. They actually built houses way out in the Gulf. They had a streetcar that went up and down. And when the hurricane was beginning to build, people went down to the water because they thought it was fun. The loss of life was horrible. This city has actually never really recovered from that, but they've learned one thing, and that's to take hurricanes seriously.
And that hurricane is one reason for the growth of Houston over the years as well. Mike Von Friend in Galveston, Texas, right in the path of Rita, a storm we'll all be tracking in the coming days. But now to New Orleans, crippled by Katrina, bracing for whatever Rita may bring their way. All weekend, Mayor Ray Nagin said he wanted to bring people home, and some, in fact, returned. But the threat that rain and storm surge from Rita could overwhelm the weakened levees and drown that city again is making their homecoming short-lived. Chris Bury reports.
Just across the Mississippi, in the shadow of downtown, sits the neighborhood of Algiers, home to 50,000 people and largely spared from the worst damage that Katrina inflicted. So this became the first place in New Orleans where residents were invited back, only to be uninvited.
Good morning. How you doing?
Today, that did not stop James Nelson Brown, a Baptist minister we first met last week, from unloading new FEMA shipments of ice, food, and supplies. But it did leave him and thousands of others in the dark about the city's intentions.
Right now, we're in limbo. Should we stay or should we go?
Who could blame them? After all, the mayor himself had declared Algiers would open Monday, but with only spotty electricity, emergency medical care, and government services, his initial decision came under heavy fire from federal officials, including the Coast Guard commander in charge of the cleanup. Then, the approach of Hurricane Rita gave Mayor Nagin all the cover he needed to reverse himself.
We are suspending all re-entry into the city of New Orleans as of this moment.
So the residents of this New Orleans neighborhood, having been officially welcomed back to look at their homes, were now being told that welcome mat had been abruptly removed. And today it seemed everything in Algiers, including the traffic lights, was stuck somewhere between coming and going. Today, police stopped everyone at the parish border. They did allow residents with identification to pass through, but told us they were now discouraging such traffic.
Back and forth to help out? Okay, all right.
At St. Mary's Place, the neighborhood health center run by Pastor Brown, Zoraine Carter and her daughter had just returned from Chicago after hearing that the mayor had invited people back to Algiers.
Now he's saying go again. I have to take her to the airport today so she can go back. We were planning to stay. But I'm scared if I go to the airport to take her, they won't let us back in. So we like between a rock and a hard place.
Just a few miles away in the far more heavily damaged St. Bernard Parish, the confusion had already turned to anger.
Yeah, everything's closed.
I thought everything was open. I want to get something out that hasn't been run.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. When did this, man? It's not us. We didn't make this decision.
I want my stuff.
We traveled 300 miles to get turned away.
There you go.
This is unbelievable.
Late this afternoon, Mayor Nagin pleaded for some patience.
Just hold on for a little longer. As soon as we get comfortable that Rita is clear of landfall in Louisiana, where we won't have any major impact, we will get back to our reentry program.
Throughout the day, as the Algiers neighborhood stirred to life, so did a sense of apprehension about the newest hurricane now swirling in the Gulf of Mexico.
I said I wasn't staying this time.
Are you going to leave?
Yeah, I went through too much. I'm stressed out.
I'll be here.
You're going to stay here?
Yeah, I'm going to stay, man.
If it's coming this way, I'm leaving.
We got some somber people. Yesterday, people coming in, and we're seeing more depressed people as a result of the hurricane coming close to Louisiana. So they're not very optimistic right now whether they should stay or whether they should go.
So this New Orleans neighborhood remains caught in the middle, somewhere between the changing mind of its mayor and the shifting winds of another powerful hurricane. This is Chris Bury for Nightline in New Orleans.
When we come back, going home.
This is ABC News Nightline. Brought to you by One Touch.
Playing the guitar is like having a conversation.
Me and B.B. King have a lot in common.
I love to play.
He has diabetes, I have diabetes.
You got a girlfriend?
We both play the blues. He doesn't like to wait for results, I don't like to wait.
All done within 5 seconds. You just can't beat that.
Results in just 5 seconds. Ask for One Touch Ultra. One Touch changes everything.
Cosmetic procedures? Why bother? For you, there's Olay Regenerist. Significant skin improvement. Women who use Regenerist may find they've lost interest in cosmetic procedures.
Tank of gas, $36. Being there when he changes his mind about joining the circus, priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard.
Tomorrow, 9/8 Central. The Emmy winner for Best Drama is this season's most anticipated premiere.
I know what I saw.
Lost, the new season premieres tomorrow, 9/8 Central, only on ABC.
Introducing the 300 horsepower Acura RL. With voice-activated technology and super handling all-wheel drive. power can be shifted front to rear, side to side, and while cornering, the outside rear wheel is accelerated for dramatically improved handling in all weather conditions. The all-new Acura RL.
Wait, no,
Hi, I'm the Snack Fairy.
Hi.
Only 1.7 hours to go. Quick, have one of these.
Oh, Fig Newtons.
It's made with the natural energy of figs. Triathletes even eat them during training.
No, Matthew.
Forget about me! Save yourself!
Fig Newtons, the perfect little pick-me-up.
Snack happy.
Going home. It's become one of the saddest passages for Katrina's victims. They go home hoping to salvage something, anything from the storm. But what they find is shattering. Jake Tapper went home with an oyster farmer from St. Bernard Parish, east of New Orleans.
I'm Jake. Hey, Jake. Stacy Geraci.
Hi, Stacy. How you doing?
I'm about to do bad, I know.
Yeah. Stacy Geraci is going home. Born and raised in St. Bernard Parish to the east of New Orleans, Geraci is an oyster farmer. His family has been here for more generations than he can count.
My daddy, my grandfather, everybody said the same thing. If you get water in Padres, in this parish, or in Violet, this parish is gone.
3 weeks ago, Stacy and his family had to flee their home by boat from the deadly storm surge caused by Katrina. Today, Stacy is returning to Hopedale, Louisiana with his friend Nikki Moniz and son Casey to see what, if anything, is left.
Let me tell you what, you can look at that. Wind will not take something and move it that far. The weight of that water just smashed that thing down, and when it got finished with it, it stopped. This house was where we took my cousin out. He was in that top window of that house. That machine right there was completely underwater. See that top window with the board sticking out? He busted the window out with the board.
The bunch of you
went
in boats and rescued your cousin.
Oh, yes. We were coming to get him.
And you went up to him in the second floor window there?
When we seen his head come out of that window and I seen that glass fly, that was the greatest feeling you ever want to see, because we didn't know. We had seen so much devastation coming this way. We had no idea what we're going to find here.
We stopped to look at the remains of the industry that is, in this part of the country, devastated. All that's left are the shells.
This was a whole oyster processing plant right here. It's gone. Jesus, man. This is just shocking. Nicky, look at the sacks and the trees. See them? All them little red sacks. You know the little half-shell oysters you eat at the bar?
Yeah.
That's what they ship them in them little red sacks. Holy mackerel, man.
We get back on the road, only a few miles from the place Stacy once called home.
You see that slab? When Shell built that, they said that was hurricane-proof. Wrong. Maybe they'll learn something from this. I've learned something. We shouldn't be here. It's a damn shame to say because I love this place. But maybe we wasn't meant to be here. This is Hopedale. They had camps, docks, fishing docks, sport fishermen. Everybody was in the community right here.
But people lived here?
Oh, yeah. I lived here. Oh, man, here we go. This used to be my greenhouse. Here's my house. Oh, damn. God damn. I grew up in this house. Oh, man. Jesus, God. The whole house was 3,000 square feet. And this was a little bar and restaurant when I was a kid. We were raised in here. And, oh, man, it's unbelievable. I'm looking right at it, and I still can't believe it. Look, that's a brand new floor. I just had this floor put in. Brand new tile. It was just so powerful. and so revved up to do the damage that it did. Oh, wait a minute. I don't even know if you see that chest? That chest has got all my kids' pictures in it. Oh. Casey, ain't that the chest? Oh, man, tell me. Tell me. I know that chest. That was the one upstairs. I also had a coin collection in here. That's it. Look at this. Hey, Nicky, I found a coin collection. Look. This is proof sets that date back to the 60s. All the silver. Look at this. All it done. She never missed nothing. Jesus. Oh, Lord. Mom, if you're watching, here we go.
Also buried in the muck, an old photograph.
This is my mom and dad standing in front of this house when it was a bar and restaurant when they first bought it, 1964, right almost into 65. They had it open one year and Betsy hit and tore it up. The SBA came in, gave them a loan, they cranked it back up, and for 14 years after that, it was nonstop. This was the hopping this little joint around. They had outside speakers. The old folks used to dance out here in the parking lot in the evening. It was cool. It was nice. Memories, buddy. You know what? The good Lord gives you your life. And they always used to tell you he only gives you what you can take. Man, he can push you to the edge. You know, he can push you to the edge where you don't really know what to do. All right, everybody's safe. This is pretty much goodbye because I'm not coming back, other than to clean the land. I'm not living here. I can't. No, no way. Not this.
Why not?
This is heartbreaking.
You're afraid it's going to happen again?
Oh, I know it. I knew this was coming. I don't know when it was coming, but it was coming. It was home. It was fun. My kids skied in the bayou. They swam. They jet skied. We did everything right here. And it was always me, my wife, and my kids. Always, just like it was my dad, and I had no brothers and sisters, so it was just me and my mama and my dad. We were all best friends. Well, you know what? We'll be best friends somewhere else.
This is Jake Tapper for Nightline in Hopedale, Louisiana.
And when we come back, could the flooding have been avoided?
Tired of cleaning the old-fashioned way? Brushing, squirting, and sweating. It takes all day. Hi, I'm Mary Ferguson, and those days are over. Introducing Ultimate Scrubber, the new handheld portable power cleaner that does all your household cleaning in half the time. Look, with ordinary brushes, no matter how hard you try, you can only generate around 80 scrubs per minute. But with Ultimate Scrubber, just press the button, and it does 300 scrubs per minute to power clean away dirt and grime like never before. And you don't have to use those harsh chemicals with strong fumes which make you sick. The secret is our powerful motor that spins non-stop to break up tough stains, supercharging your favorite cleaner to be up to 20 times more effective, guaranteed. Snap on the fabric brush and spot clean stains off laundry, or use our utility brush to clean up after kids in seconds. Look, cleaning into corners and tight areas is frustrating. But now use our exclusive twister brush and power clean hard-to-access areas easily and effectively. Ultimate Scrubber even power cleans dust and grime off AC vents in seconds. Ultimate Scrubber even polishes. Now gently restore shine to your wood furniture in no time. Cut your cleaning time in half with Ultimate Scrubber for $19.95. And here's even a better deal. Call in the next 10 minutes and we'll give you a second scrubber free. Keep one in your car to help clean up after fast food accidents. And as a special gift, we'll also give you our automotive kit to easily buff those nicks and scratches off your paint. If Ultimate Scrubber is not the most amazing cleaning tool, return it for a full refund of the purchase price. You get it all. 2 complete Ultimate Scrubbers, the automotive kit, and the guarantee. An $80 value, all for just $19.95. This is a TV-only offer and is not available in stores, so call now.
To order your Ultimate Scrubber, call 1-800-580-8105. You must be 18 years or older to order. Call 1-800-580-8105.
Tonight on
Jimmy Kimmel.
I shouldn't even bother asking about what's going to happen on Wednesday night.
I can tell you a couple things.
Jimmy gets the scoop on the Lost premiere from Matthew Fox.
People selling that information.
Yeah, I would sell it.
Good time started an all-new Jimmy Kimmel Live coming up only on ABC.
This is an Oregon forest, but unfortunately so is this. Fire is a normal visitor to a healthy forest, but years of keeping fire out and a lack of thinning have left many of our forests filled with fuel for large, intense wildfires, putting homes and habitat at risk. Careful forest management can help reduce the risk of these fires while sustaining the forest and all their benefits for generations to come. Here's how you can learn more about sustaining Oregon's forests.
New Orleans was overwhelmed by floodwaters, and you see something strange. It's not just higher ground that remained dry. Some low-lying areas were spared too. Others were simply drowned. Why? Jake Tapper reports on one theory.
Scientists and engineers are now trying to figure out why certain parts of New Orleans were hit with more devastating floodwaters than others, such as demolished St. Bernard Parish. It's an inquiry of some controversy. Where did the terrifying wall of water that hit that area come from?
That water came from that way. See which way them poles are bent? That water came straight from that gulf, right that way, because you can look at them poles. That house went like this, just like that. All of this wall here, look at it, it's here. And all that wall on that side is over there. Everything went that way. That means it came straight from the Gulf, this way, and from the Gulf outlet.
This is the Mississippi River Gulf Outlet, or MRGO, or Mr. Go. With other waterways, it serves as a sort of shortcut for commercial interests between the Gulf of Mexico and the port of New Orleans. But now some experts are wondering if it also served as a sort of backdoor for a surge of water pushed into the city by Hurricane Katrina. Intended to stimulate economic development, Mr. Go was chopped through the marshlands of St. Bernard Parish by the Army Corps of Engineers, opening in the 1960s. The commercial benefits have not come anywhere near projections. But even worse, some say,
if Mr. Go did not exist, initial indications are that you would not have seen a surge tide nearly as high in St. Bernard Parish.
Before Mr. Go and its adjacent waterways were built, environmentalist Mike Tidwell argues, the storm surge would have dissipated in marshes and other wetlands that protected the city in storms past. Mr. Go has eroded neighboring wetlands so much, in places it's now 4 times its original width.
What Mr. Go does is it allows the surge tide to circumvent those barriers by funneling into this watery pathway, this avenue. It literally carries the surge tide into the city. It causes the surge to go into a narrow neck and to literally rise higher than it would ever otherwise be, 20 to 40% higher. So you're basically creating this moving, narrow wall of water.
Colonel Richard Wagonar, commander of the New Orleans district of the Army Corps of Engineers, disagrees with this theory.
There's a lot of people that want to blame Mr. Go for this, and I'm not sure it's to blame. I think this water, this 20-foot surge plus waves, would have come in here regardless of whether Mr. Go was there or not.
It remains a controversy. As first reported in the Washington Post, Hanan Mashriki of the Louisiana State University Hurricane Center showed emergency planners in May this computer model showing that Mr. Go could funnel floodwaters into the city.
And as you can see, the storm is pushing water from southeast corner toward the northwest corner, and it's pushing water through this funnel. It's pushing water through this St. Bernard Parish levee line. Now, as storm was coming close to the St. Bernard Parish, we see levee overtopping on the eastern side, while more water is getting into the St. Bernard Parish from the industrial canal side too, and water is piling up along the funnel.
These photographs, taken during Hurricane Katrina and obtained exclusively by Nightline, show floodwaters overflowing onto dry land from the Mr. Go Canal system. The man who took them told us he saw rising floodwaters shooting down Mr. Go and into the city. We saw many barges tossed up along the banks of the waterway, raising the question whether floodwaters came directly from the Mr. Go system into the city. That surge may have been responsible for smashing this barge through this levee wall. The barge is now tucked on the wrong side of the levee. That theory is supported by local newspaper accounts quoting eyewitnesses the day after the flood. The catastrophic failure of the levee unleashed a wall of water into eastern New Orleans, seen in amateur video shot by parish resident Ken Winters on August 29th, the day of the flood. The threat posed by Mr. Go has been feared for years. St. Bernard's Parish President Henry Jr. Rodriguez, a longtime opponent of Mr. Go, last year called it a murder waiting to happen. But surprisingly, he doesn't blame the waterway for the near total destruction of his parish.
I'd like to, but this was a tidal wave. This was probably what you might call the perfect storm. It wasn't the 100-year storm. This may be a 500-year storm, but there had to be a tidal wave at least 25 to 35 feet high that came through Lake Bourne.
President Bush has pledged to rebuild the New Orleans area, whatever the cost.
I think to rebuild St. Bernard Parish and to rebuild New Orleans without simultaneously closing down the Mississippi River Gulf outlet would be a criminal act of neglect. We would simply be setting the table for the next nightmare.
Whether Mr. Go and its adjacent waterways funneled a deadly surge of water into New Orleans will be examined and debated in the coming months. There will likely be few, if any, eyewitnesses to that surge, of course, since anyone who saw it is probably no longer alive. I'm Jake Tapper for Nightline in New Orleans.
I'll be back in a moment.
Life is sweet, 'cause lucky me, I've got a Splenda daddy.
All the sweetest dads know about Splenda, the no-calorie sweetener made from sugar, so it tastes like sugar. Almost anywhere you use sugar, you can use Splenda. So dads can even cook and bake with it. If they can cook and bake, that is.
So I put on this Thermacare heat wrap for knees. It heated up and it was all downhill from there. With less knee stiffness, less pain. Nice. Oh, and since the knee wrap can go anywhere I go, I'm gone.